then if it is a possibility, then check it out. You can you can choose between based on the complexity of application, you can choose between ACI and ACI or EKS. If it can't be containerized, it is written very I would say, in the lack of good words, badly. It is not properly designed or loose coupled. Then of course you have you have two options again between app service and VMs. So VMs, of course, when you want again kind of because VM is a machine, you can pretty much install everything. It doesn't require .NET literally. So all kind of applications, it could be Windows, it could be anything, right? So choose VM. But if it is it is part of this list that comes into app service, like it is a web API, it is web applications, right? You can go with app service. So it is a typical, you can say, it is a good decision making kind of chart that can help. Of course, this chart can keep, I borrowed this chart from Microsoft site, so it is an official one, so you can trust this. They keep updating this basically based on any new service that may come up. So currently we have Azure Batch. As and when any new service can come or they want to retire any service, they keep updating. So I'll share the references in a while. You can go through, you can keep checking it as and when you there is some new service will come. They update the documentation. Okay. Fine. Let's look into the demo quickly. How we can create something. So okay. Wait, I do have. I think I was. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to this Azure portal. So I'm again coming back here. Close this. So this is my personal account of Azure and the other services that I have already for a bunch of other POCs and stuff. So I'll show you something good here. So we were talking about compute, right? So let's see, there is compute. So all services. Here we go. So remember we were talking about different cloud like Azure services. So compute, networking, storage. I think Mohit even was also talking about web, mobile, bunch of things, right? Containers. So it also provides, by the way, AI and ML scenarios. So security, identity, pretty much everything, right? DevOps, even all kind of scenarios. So now we are interested currently on compute. So let's look into click on compute and see what comes. So we have 36 services, by the way, guys. There are way too many. However, of course, there could be some redundant in a way that you can use A versus B with very little difference or based on the load. Some are like very specific in nature, like disk and all. Alone disk may not work. Use like specific scenarios. And some are like full-fledged one, right? Like VMs and the stuff. So I think we were reviewing VMs. We looked into ACI, container stance. We looked into a Kubernetes service, and we also looked into Azure functions. So that is out here somewhere. Where's that? Here we go, function app, right? So the other some of the options that there are many options, but maybe to start with, you can look into the most commonly used, and as you progress, you will start exploring into other options, like to understand like whether they're making sense. Now we are talking about going ahead with VM. So okay, so I do have one VM for different purpose I already have. So I'll click on the create one. Okay, so I'll use this description. I want to play with my current resource group, so I'll create test VM source group. Let's see, it's available. Good. Okay. Now I want to give similar name, test VM. Okay, let's see if that's available. Oh yeah, good. Region Southeast Asia, fine. Anyway, I'm going to remove this, post this demo, just for how you can do. Availability options, leave it. Here, guys, here is a catch, right? That you were talking about. That remember I was talking about different OS you can use and test it out. So here you go. So as you can see, there are Windows, of course, bunch of Windows flavors. Windows 10, Windows Server. Ubuntu is a part of Linux family. Again, we do have Oracle Linux. We do have bunch of stuff, right? So basically, these are some of the VMs that you can use. So we'll try to get into the easier one for now. So let's see what is okay. Wait, let's take something. Let's take something from Windows 10. Okay. Yeah. Now, of course, these are the most commonly we also have option to look into bunch of other images that may be used for specific purposes. Okay, as you can see, there are way too many. So okay, let's come back. So basically, they are the OS image, right? Just to understand. Now, okay, yeah, the default option you want to know how you want to evict it. Evict means how you want to take it back, like it's not being used, why to keep paying the money. These are some of the options. Size, like how much CPU we want, how much memory you want, and based on the size you will pay it, right? So I'll go for something for cheaper one because just for demo. So where is the cheapest one, guys? Let's look into. Okay. So there are different options. I don't want premium. I want, let's look into this family, general purpose. Okay. Looks like they changed this. They changed this option. Earlier it was different. So this dashboard got some changes. Okay, so I want, let's look into this one. Maybe this can help us. Okay, so I just want one. Yeah, it is free one, right? Yeah, so I want free one only. So, okay, so I want this one, F1. So let's select this. Yeah, 2 gig of memory is good enough. Okay, so again, it will ask me what? It will ask me username and password. Okay. And it's pretty straightforward. You can understand what we need to fill here. Inbound port rule. Okay, so again, what is port here, guys? So port are something that how you want this VM to be accessible from other machines, right? Whether you want to allow it or not. So if you will not allow it, you can't really open it up from any. You can't do RDP basically. So like that, whether you want different other options as such is from like Unix machine, right? So like that you have options. So for all different ports you want to open it up for it to be available. So like that you can choose the way. I think you should have at least RDP one because otherwise how this will be accessible, right? It will come isolated, right? So there should be something. This checkbox is there. Yeah, of course, you need to kind of have this license. Let's look at what are the options. So this is a basic one. Disk again you can choose based on the how much like whether based on how it's like as much as you pay as the premium you will get, right? This theory works for pretty much everything, so it is no different. This VM is no different. So it's like, and of course you want to go with something that is minimum for your case. Why would you pay a huge price for something that is not required? So of course do a good judgment here, like what is your requirements, and for that requirement what is the most economical option available to save the cost. That is the key, right? You can choose the description also in case you want to make it data more secure, right? Coming to network, you can configure some network setting on this. VNet you can select, so it will work on that VNet. It will be more secure, right? Public IP is something that you want this to be available using IP address. It's like you can open up it up, and this IP. So like that you can give that option. You can also make it load balance, but in this case you need to add more VMs and then you can schedule Azure load balancer. So it will be like the availability part will be more in that case. There are some bunch of other settings that you can do with security, auto shutdown, all those guest OS, all kind of additional advanced setting you can play around with. But for most common scenario, if it is just for testing purposes, you can just come to basics and you're good. Okay, so review and create is an option that is okay. So I have not selected all the options because I don't want to create it again. But I wanted to brief you that how it it sounds. So once you fill in these, I think these are information I have not filled. So you can give your username that you will use when you do when you do RDP, right? That time you need to give your username. It's like machine name, password, of course, and once you go from this one, you can click on review and create. It will give you the settings that you have applied, and it will create. And once you create, in that time, let me show you how it looks like. So, okay, let me go with what I already have. So let me show some VM that I already have. So I have this VM. So what is that? It is not a free one. It is a D2 one. I have some data over there. So it has public IP address. I can do, I can open that with browser as well. And yeah, so these are the options I have used. I don't have any load balancer for that because it's not something very important data I have. It's just for some testing. So this pretty much, at a high level, guys, you can spin up VM. Okay, let's go back. So this is some of the references that I referred myself, and you can refer them to get a bunch of additional details. It will help you. And here I would say thank you. If you have any questions, please shoot up. And if not, you can also chat me. You can basically either follow me or at least you can ping me, and we can chat and we can get anything sorted or addressed.
Prakash, we have one query from Prem. Yeah, Prem was asking what are the considerations for versioning the Docker images?
Sorry, what was the question?
What are the considerations for having the Docker image versions? So I'll read out the comment. His comment was to Prakash, please talk a bit about version control of container images.
Okay, so for version control, right? Okay, so you mean for APS, is it, or API?
He's asking for a container images. Maybe I'm assuming it's for the Docker containers.
Okay. Yeah, could be. So for that, right, this AKS, so let's go, let me quickly show a little bit. And by the way, who was the person? Sorry, I could not read it. I could read. So
it was Prem. Prem Born Explorer.
So yeah, so Prem, maybe in the some time we will not be able to go too detailed, but please let's kind of chat over tweet, and we can connect, and I can provide you more details on that. So by the way, at a high level, what I can show you that here you can, for container option, like we have two primary services, container instance, and also we have Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS, and this how you can get started. Right, so there are a bunch of scenarios, including the version control, that those kind of things can be kind of configured. So we can chat in detail offline. Any other questions, Swami?